Borderlands 4 boss says a real fan will pay $80 for games. When asked about a potential $80 cost for Borderlands 4, multi-millionaire Randy Pitchford, CEO of developer Gearbox, told a potential customer, quote, "If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school, working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen." Pitchford sent the message as a reply on X May 13th and was spotted by Games Radar on Tuesday. Randy sent out a new comment on X yesterday in which he alludes to some contrition for his remarks. Quote, "Nobody likes being taken for granted, and it was not my intent. I'm humbled by the love and support everyone has shown the team as we push hard to get this amazing game in your hands. They're crushing it, and I can't wait for everyone to play what's going to be the best Borderlands ever. Regardless of where the price lands, it's going to be worth it and then some. Back to work for me." Incidentally, last week during a PAX East panel, Pitchford insisted that he didn't know the Borderlands 4 price, but refused to rule out $80. Quote, "I'll tell you the truth, I don't know. Borderlands 4 has more than twice the development budget than Borderlands 3, more than twice. So the truth is, I don't know what the price is going to be. It's going to be the other people at the publishing house that decide that, and if it is cheaper, then maybe we'll sell you that mini-map that you guys want that we'll develop later. How bad do you want that? $10? I'm just kidding. Or am I?" He
Oh my
concluded,
God. Wait, so
Borderlands...
he's saying if we have a reasonable price, we're going to put microtransactions on it.
Yes,
like that's
the joke. Yeah.
Douchebag.
So he concluded that Borderlands is fucking amazing and it's worth it. So boys, what do you think? Does Pitchford make a good point here with regards to the cost of making current gen AAA games, or is he just unbelievably out of touch?
There's something so wrong about you can afford this. And it's like, listen, bud, we're out here trying to buy eggs right now. We can't actually afford an $80 game. Like, dude, you're hallucinating. And it's just a crazy to put that out in public it was on Twitter, right?
Like, so that first statement was on Twitter. That second statement was at PAX East.
Okay. So, I mean, putting that out on Twitter, like, to me is just, you're so out of touch. Like, I don't know where that's coming from, but you're the head of a video game company. Like, PR, step in, like, tie this guy down, because right now he's like not selling Borderlands 4. So that's a rough one.
My thing is Randy Pitchford has had a history of toxic behavior and telling fans to fuck off. In fact, when I was researching this topic for the pod and I was going back through his Twitter comments to people, he said that literally to people. He said, "Kindly fuck off, troll." Like, that's how he speaks to fans. And that is what he thinks about fans. And that is really the most toxic thing. It really is his attitude and his disdain for players and his entitlement that makes people just want to punch him in the face. It's ridiculous. And the thing is, look, we're all trying to swallow this whole $80 things. Is it justified? No. And if you have to charge $80 to, be able to afford to make your game, maybe you should look at your budget and maybe you should be looking at how much money you're being paid. Because I guarantee you this $80 is going straight to Pitchford's pocket and he doesn't deserve shit.
We saw the gameplay at the State of Play that they put out not long ago. And I'm just going to say it. That game did not look $80 to me. Some games do look $80. I mean, actually, I haven't seen an $80 looking game yet, to be quite frank, but this to me is not that. Like, this is a $60 game. I feel like maybe 70, but 80 that's getting crazy. So Maulding, what do you think about this whole thing?
Yeah, there's a couple of things here. One being that statement where he said that the budget of this one is more than twice of what the last one is. I'm like, I saw that trailer. We saw that trailer. Where did that budget go? I don't know that it necessarily went into production. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just a gamer. I'm not an expert, but that money I'm betting is going into the pockets of those executives, easily. Not the budget of that game, or not the game itself. So that set me off when I read that. The out of touch nature of where the country is what blows me away more than anything. That attitude of, we're going to shit and you're going to eat it. that's that kind of feeling that I get from these people. I'm playing Skyrim right now. I'm eating well with lots of other games that I can go back and play. I can play on Game Pass. I don't need this game. This game is not something that I am clamoring to get a hold of because there's some emptiness of product out there. There's lots of other stuff that I can play. So I get this feeling that like they need us as gamers way more than the gamers need them.
We've played this same game 5 times now. If you're dying to play this game, then you can go play 1, 2, 3, the prequel, the Tiny Tina. We've been getting the same exact game over and over and over. They have not changed it enough to get us interested and to justify, A, a new game, B, an $80 price tag. And that's the most ridiculous thing, is that like, oh, budgets. Oh yeah, well, you know what my budget is? Like let's talk about budgets. But you got to respect my budget too. So it's like, if you're not going to put something out that justifies the cost, that I'm not going to pay for it. And the main thing here that people keep saying on Twitter is, Pitchford, you're damaging your brand and yourself, and unfortunately, you're damaging all of the hard work that all of the programmers and everybody working on this game have. Being a ill-suited frontman, how can they put such a toxic individual at the top of this company when every time he opens his mouth, it's just inflammatory and rude? It's wild. And then on top of that, they want us to pay more for it. So it's those two things that I'm like, you can go fuck yourself.
I want to say one more thing on the matter. It is that it would have been so easy for him to respond to this tweet saying, the game is awesome. The people working on this game are awesome. The company's awesome. You love our product. Like, this game is worth $80. I think they know that this game is kind of derivative and kind of crap. I think they know that. And so it's kind of showing up in these statements where they're getting a little defensive about it. Or at least that's the feeling I'm getting.